There's a possible shooting in the cafeteria. You're on site right now.
Scene's clear for A. Get him in here.
Contact
Medic 61.
Request you stand by in the area. It'll be a GSW. Copy. So I have 865 SALS. And these are confirming 2 code blast 3.
Confirming 2 code blast.
Closer look at an issue that is not normally talked about: first responder suicides. As part of National EMS Week, KENS 5's Marvin Hurst spoke with Bexar County emergency responders about mental health concerns and solutions.
My name is Frank Horta. I work with Bexar County District 7 Fire and Rescue.
My name is Michael J. Sachs. I am a retired New York City detective.
I'm Chris Mascoro. I'm with District 7 Fire and Rescue.
I am a peer support specialist and expert, and I'm a critical incident stress management expert due to my experiences on the NYPD.
I like to think we have 3 jobs, which is fire protection, EMS, and public service. I personally jump out of bed when it's time for me to go to work, so it's amazing.
I used to be a detective. I'm a retired detective. I was seriously injured in the line of duty. I'm a vest save from a car accident. I was in a shooting, the World Trade Center response. I used to be a firefighter. I was New York City Emergency Medical Services.
Been to Uvalde to support their local resource and whatever they needed. Mainly it was an EMS strike team that we sent.
Fire and EMS, you run car accidents, stabbings, shootings, suicides, rollover accidents, ejections, cardiac arrest in adults and kids. So you see everything. Sometimes it's a good turnout, sometimes it's a bad turnout.
When you're not clear-minded on this job, on this type of job, it's dangerous. The job is dangerous as it is. It's not a safe job. We know that from the get-go. But having an unclear mind, doing a dangerous job is not good.
So I kind of have to put it in a box and go on the next call. That's how a lot of us deal with it, and I think it becomes to be a problem later on. And some people who don't know how to talk about it. But it's also separating work from home.
The greatest challenge in the first responder field is mental health that they can trust, because their job is always at risk. If they speak to somebody and open up to them, they have to worry about performance evaluations. A law enforcement officer carries a gun. If they have that gun taken away, they're not a law enforcement officer anymore. So they're always worried about that. Whether that worry is real or not, it's very real to them.
Understand that it's okay to talk about it. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
When I was a cop in the 90s, it was leave it in your locker. You don't talk about this. You don't bring it home to your families. You're a weak person if you bring it home to your families. You don't even talk about it in the precinct or at headquarters.
It's not fair to our families, our wives and kids, that if we, come home and take that home. You know what I mean?
While firefighters and cops are answering all of these calls and seeing everything that they're seeing, they still have financial problems, they still have marital problems, they still have all the problems of everyday life. And that doesn't stop just because they go to the job.
I don't like to think about certain calls. I mean, I don't like to bring it up in conversation. I think it doesn't help me personally.
I think the courage comes when you see all the guys you work with before. You end up seeing him at a funeral. That's when, it's nice to see your friends, buddies from the academy and whatnot. But you just get tired of seeing them at that type of ceremony. And it makes you realize, hey, it's okay to talk about it. You need to talk about it.
We go through a lot. We go through a lot and we see a lot, so.
And the way I look at stress, either you're gonna deal with stress on your terms, or stress is gonna deal with you on its terms. And you never wanna have stress deal with you on its terms, because you're gonna lose.
Yeah, I'm all about, let's make sure we get the job done. Let's stay strong and do it. But at the same time, afterwards, let's talk about it. Because you know these situations aren't normal. We see the worst day of someone's life every day.
They should be required to have in-service training where they understand what critical incident stress management is, so they understand what the process is. Mental health is important. Peer support is important. And when we don't pay attention to it, the job suffers, and it costs the cities and the agencies big dollars.